Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Friday, the 11th of December. Japanese PM Shinzo Abe arrives in India to boost strategic partnership. Indian court pardons David Headley, makes him approver in 26/11 Mumbai attack case. Afghan intelligence chief resigns over policy differences with President Ghani. And now for all the details. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe arrived in India on Friday on a 3-day visit. The focus of the visit will be on boosting strategic ties between the two major Asian economies.
Sand art in the Indian holy city of Varanasi, a tribute to the India-Japan partnership by artists who sculpt designs with sand. Mr. Abe will be in Varanasi on Saturday with the Indian Prime Minister to participate in the Hindu Arati ceremony on the banks of the river Ganga. The two Prime Ministers are set for talks on their strategic and trade partnership, military and anti-terror cooperation and economic issues. Bilateral trade currently stands at more than $16 billion, with Japan being the third largest investor in India. Also, New Delhi is keen on a nuclear deal with Tokyo, but the two sides are still some distance away from securing a nuclear relationship. And some analysts say without that in place, India will find it tough purchasing nuclear reactors from other countries.
This deal is blocking the sale of other nuclear reactors from many countries, because Japan is one country which is providing many components of the nuclear reactors that were supposed to come to India from either from European countries or from United States. So this deal, is important for us, because once we sign this deal, then the nuclear reactors from US or Germany, Japan, Britain, and many other countries will come to India.
There are more than 1,200 Japanese firms operating in India, and the Indian government has set up a mechanism to fast-track Japanese investment titled Japan Plus. One such plan is to introduce high-speed bullet trains to the country, but some opposition politicians are not convinced about the project.
Bullet trains is not a solution to India's railway issues. I think fast-speed trains, fast-track trains and better train service itself is good enough. You can maybe make one or two if you want to, but I would personally think it will be a waste of money.
On security cooperation, Japan's National Security Strategy Doctrine in 2013 has listed India as one of the primary drivers of global balance of power. The Indian leadership refers to Japan as a natural ally for peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. With Japan's new strategic doctrine in place, New Delhi sees in Tokyo an ally it can rely upon in the event of a regional security crisis.
An Indian court has granted conditional pardon to David Coleman Headley, one of the main accused in the 2008 Mumbai terror attack case, after he agreed to become a prover. 166 people were killed in the attack.
A court in India's western Mumbai on Thursday accepted David Coleman Headley as a prosecution witness after he, through a video link, said that he was ready to depose in the 2008 Mumbai attack case if pardoned. Headley, an American national of Pakistani origin who admitted scouting targets for the attack and later agreed to testify against the plotters to avoid death penalty, was sentenced to 35 years in prison in January 2013 by a US district judge.
Accordingly, court has made him as an approver, but while making an approver, we have also made it very clear that this pardon is a conditional pardon on certain terms and conditions, and he accepted those terms and conditions, and therefore accordingly now David Coleman Headley will be the prosecution witness, and he will be examined on behalf of the prosecution in the terror trial of 26 November as the first star prosecution witness.
Headley was arrested in 2009 and pleaded guilty to 12 charges, including conspiracy to bomb places of public use, commit murder, and plotting an attack on a Danish newspaper. An unprecedented militant strike on November 26 in 2008 had not only shook India but the world when a group of 10 gunmen from Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba outfit attacked several landmarks in Mumbai, killing more than 166 people, including 6 Americans. Headley admitted videotaping sites that were targeted by the attackers.
Moving on to Afghanistan. The head of Afghanistan's main intelligence agency, Rahmatullah Nabil, has tendered his resignation citing policy differences with President Ashraf Ghani. Nabil's resignation comes amid a series of Taliban attacks around the country, including Tuesday's deadly assault on an airbase in southern Kandahar city. The National Directorate of Security Chief resigned a day after Ghani agreed in meetings with Pakistani, US and Chinese officials during the Heart of Asia Summit in Pakistan to resume peace negotiations with the Taliban to bring an end to the violence in Afghanistan. The spy chief is known to be in strong opposition of a rapprochement with Pakistan to broker the Taliban talks. Afghanistan already has no defense minister due to conflicts within Ghani's National Unity Government, and Nabil's resignation could complicate efforts to fight the growing Taliban insurgency in the country. As Afghanistan struggles to emerge from war with insurgents and to build a self-sustaining economy, a wave of young Afghans are preparing to leave their homeland in search of better lives. But the mass exodus risks hurting Afghanistan's post-war recovery.
The passport office in Afghanistan's capital Kabul seems to be a busy place as hundreds of people queue up to get their hands on the one document that will allow them to leave. These people want to leave their homeland, which is no less than a war zone, for better job prospect and a safe and secure locality. But their departure risks causing long-term damage to Afghanistan and its economy.
ما خود تصمیم گرفتیم که به هر قیمت شوه ما سفر میکنیم، یعنی هر قدر گزاف که بر ما تمام شوه، چون از این حالت که خوبتر است که ما سفر بکنیم، باید برایم از افغانستان به هر قیمتی که شوه، یعنی ما برای خود یک راه پیدا میکنیم به هر قسمی که شوه، چرا که از این حکومت راضی نیستیم. حکومت چیز نکرده با ملت خود. اگر این زمینه کار ملت مهیا بسازه بر ملت خود، هیچ فرد خوش نداره که در کشور بیگانه برد اونجا مسکن گزین شود، جا گزین شود.
Economists estimate the country's unemployment rate has risen to about 40%, even as Afghan government says it is working on job programs and information campaigns to stem migration. The government has been urging young people to be patient and stay in the country.
Public sector employees in Pakistani Kashmir are a distressed lot. They claim they do not get any benefit for their services from the government. A report.
Public sector employees in Pakistani Kashmir went on a strike against the local government for turning down their rightful demand. They claimed that despite recommendation from a revenue committee, their grade pays have not been upgraded.
Bureaucracy की जानब से मनपसंद फैसले हो रहे हैं, अपने लिए अफिसरान सब कुछ करते हैं, लेकिन छोटे मुलाजमीन के काम रुके हुए हैं। असम्बली जो हमारा एक बेहतरीन अदारा है, उस जहाँ पर लोगों को इंसाफ के लिए कानून बनाया जाता है, जहाँ लोगों को इंसाफ फराहम किया जाता है, उस जगह पर इतनी बड़ी नाइंसाफ़ी कि 8 असामियाँ ग्रेड 17 में हैं और 3 असामियाँ ग्रेड 16 में हैं। मालियाती कमेटी ने अपने दायरा अख्तियार के अंदर रहते हुए नोटिफिकेशन जारी कर दिया है, लेकिन हमें समझ नहीं आता कि सेक्रेटरी मालियात ने किस वजह से उस नोटिफिकेशन को रोक दिया है, जिसके ख़िलाफ़ आज ये एहतजाज किया जा रहा है। इसके अलावा हमारे मुलाजमीन 5 साल से हमें HBA नहीं दिया जा रहा।
According to the employees, money is being deducted from their salaries, but no facilities are provided to them.
मसाइल हमारे ये हैं कि ये तकरीबन अरसा 6 माह से जो मालियाती कमेटी ने नोटिफिकेशन जारी की है हमारे, उस पे मालियात अमल दरामंदी होने दे रहा।
A part of the erstwhile princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan-administered Kashmir has been under the Pakistani rule for over 6 decades now. Pakistan claims this region as its own but does not give rights and privileges to the people, saying the constitutional status of the region is unclear.
The year 2015 is going to be the first year of single-digit worldwide smartphone growth, according to a new forecast from the International Data Corporation (IDC). But India still has potential in smartphone market. Here's a report.
While the global smartphone market is showing signs of losing momentum, in India there is still huge demand. Business is booming at smartphone stores around the country as more and more people look to get hold of the latest device. And it's young people in particular that are driving sales.
Nowadays it's a necessity because normally at home we don't use computers and all because everything comes in our smartphone only. So it's a necessity because wherever we'll go, it's in hand.
So smartphone is now very easy to use than the normal phone because everything is there in it, and carrying a laptop instead of carrying a laptop and all we can use in smartphone itself.
There are many reasons why young people want a smartphone. More businesses, especially retailers, are boosting their online presence. That's translated into a 45% increase in e-commerce in 2015. Of crucial importance, though, are Chinese smartphone makers. They have introduced new affordable models to India, opening up the market to many more people.
What is the most important factor about the Chinese smartphone which has come and hit India? There are two things are there. One is that these particular smartphones are very price competitive, and second is that they are very super rich in terms of features and functionalities. So you don't require to worry, or you don't surprise that a young generation who want the latest hardware, latest application. At the same time, they are cautious about the price. They will definitely go for those devices.
India's smartphone market faces some challenges, especially with patchy connectivity infrastructure. But with 63% of the population here yet to buy a smartphone, there is still massive growth potential.
Afghanistan cricket team has found a benefactor in India. The Indian Cricket Board has agreed to provide a stadium in India to the Afghan team to give a boost to the game in the war-ravaged country.
The Board of Control for Cricket in India, or the BCCI, and the Afghanistan Cricket Board, or the ACB, signed an agreement on Thursday under which a stadium in India's northern Greater Noida was named as home ground of Afghanistan. The Afghan team can train and play matches here. The stadium will soon be upgraded for Afghan cricketers to play international matches.
जिस तरह से हमें ग्रेटर नोएडा इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट अथॉरिटी के अधिकारियों ने बताया है कि भविष्य में यहाँ पर अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मैच भी हों, उसके लिए अथॉरिटी अपनी ओर से जो कमियां हैं उनको पूरा करेंगी ताकि अफगानिस्तान क्रिकेट बोर्ड भविष्य के अपने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मैच जो हैं वो ग्रेटर नोएडा के इस ग्राउंड पर खेल सकें.
The development is significant for the Afghan side, which is catching up with the popularity of the game.
You are trying a lot from last few years to receive some sort of support from the BCCI, as Afghanistan, you all know, that is an emerging nation and also a board which is knocking the door of test cricket status and a full membership. So obviously we need support, and this support that we receive from the BCCI is much appreciated.
Afghan cricketers have shown good performances in recent times. In 2015 Cricket World Cup tournament, Afghanistan beat Scotland in dramatic one-wicket win in their Pool A clash.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Japanese PM Shinzo Abe arrives in India to boost strategic partnership. Indian court pardons David Headley, makes him a prover in 26/11 Mumbai attack case. Afghan intelligence chief resigns over policy differences with President Ghani. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend and good night.